to all my colleagues for joining me here today, and thanks to the media and the press that came down to be with us as we make what I believe is an important announcement. The case of Sholom Rubashkin is one that has captured national headlines for a variety of reasons, and we're not here at all to talk about the main issues surrounding the case, the questions of his guilt or innocence. He has been convicted by a jury of his peers, and we're not here to talk about that. That's not our concern today. Our concern today relates specifically to the fact that he is being detained in prison pending the sentencing. The conviction came down in the middle of November, if I recall correctly, and he has requested that he be released on bail. That request has been turned down both by the district judge and then subsequently by a 3-judge panel of the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals, on the theory that he constituted a flight risk and therefore must remain in prison pending the sentencing. That particular decision is now on appeal before a request has been made by his attorneys to the entire 8th Circuit Court of Appeals to rehear the matter en banc. Again, we're not here today to speak to the legal merits of the issue, but rather as rabbis and as representing a broad cross-stream of Orthodox Jewry here in the United States. And I would add to the list of the groups that are here today that the Union of Orthodox Jewish Congregations of America, although they were not able to participate in this particular undertaking today, are supportive of the effort and will be communicating their support as well. So we're talking about a fairly wide, expansive group that represents hundreds of thousands of families across the United States, and it's an issue that we believe is, at its foundation, a humanitarian issue. When we speak about the standard in situations like this, where a person is sentenced, if the person can show that he is not a flight risk, then typically the court will allow him to post bail. The courts have not allowed him to do so in this case, and we believe that the local federal prosecutors have been extraordinarily inflexible and harsh in terms of their own approach to this matter in urging the courts to reject any effort at bail. They did so a year ago when Mr. Rubashkin was initially arrested, and it was a question of pre-trial detention, and thereto the U.S. government, the federal prosecutors at the local level, took a very, very strong stand against allowing him to leave jail pending trial. And that particular matter was ultimately determined by a district court in Iowa that it was appropriate for him to be released pending trial. But the local prosecutors have in fact adhered to an extremely hard line on this matter, and frankly it bewilders us. It's something that we find inexplicable, unjustified, and something that we believe deserves the attention of the U.S. Department of Justice at its very highest level, which is why we're here today. As to the question of flight risk, there are a variety of factors over here which make it virtually impossible to imagine that Mr. Rubashkin will not be present at the date of his sentencing. He is wearing an electronic bracelet, or did wear an electronic bracelet when he was out on bail pending trial, and that GPS system pretty much ensures that people will know his whereabouts at all times. As a matter of fact, there was one point where the bracelet became disconnected from his body, and he immediately called that in to the authorities to let them know that, so that they would fix it, that there would be no question of any improprieties on his part. His travel documents and those of his family were surrendered. He can't leave the country. He has a history of full compliance with the conditions of bail. Concerned members of the community have pledged not only their own reputations, but actually their own assets to secure the fact that he would remain in this country. $43 million of pledges with respect to the value of personal property, houses, that have been put up as collateral for this. And in an extraordinary sign, a number of rabbis have pledged as security 8 Holy Torah scrolls, which again, according to our tradition, is something which can be done only in the most extraordinary and extreme of circumstances. And the fact that the rabbis have put forward the Torah scrolls and are prepared to have them confiscated if he were in some way to violate the conditions of bail, I think is a remarkable statement. And the notion that in fact that this gentleman is a serious flight risk at this point is just so preposterous and difficult to understand that it perplexes us why the Justice Department and why the local prosecutors are taking such a hard line. 43 houses for I said 43 million, thank you. I learned there was 43 houses that have been put up, aggregating in value at $8 million. Thank you very much. There's more to the story here as well, and that is there's a very poignant and heartrending personal aspect to this case. Mr. Rubashkin is a family man. He is a father of 10 children, 6 of whom still live at home, 1 of whom is a special needs child, an autistic child. And let's face it, he is currently facing a lengthy prison sentence, and now would be precisely the time that he should have an opportunity to speak to his children, to speak to his family, to prepare them for what may, in fact, turn out to be a lengthy, prolonged absence from home. And the notion that under these circumstances, with the individual factors, the personal factors involved over here, as well as, again, all of the extra steps, and there's yet an additional step in terms of ensuring that he will not be a flight risk, and that is that an offer has been put on the table that there would be a 24-hour guard to be paid for by the Rubashkin family to ensure that he would not leave. 24-hour guard with video surveillance all around his house. And that has been proffered as well, and that too, for some reason, is deemed insufficient, and this man is considered a flight risk. It's just so totally perplexing and dismaying to us and to our constituents, because this story has gotten out into the grassroots, into the community. The newspapers have been reporting about this, and it's something which we, on a daily basis, receive phone calls from our constituents. How could this be? How could this be, they wonder. And so we are persuaded, we have no doubt that the Attorney General of the United States, the highest echelons of the Justice Department, are not aware of the particular detail of this very, very harsh and aggressive posture being taken by the local prosecutors in Iowa. And so it is our hope that we might have an opportunity to bring this to the attention of the highest levels of the Justice Department. We have asked in this letter, which I believe you have in your packets, for an opportunity to meet with the Attorney General to discuss this with him. And that's why we're here today. As soon as we conclude this press conference, we will be walking over to the Justice Department and hand-delivering a copy of this letter to the Attorney General's office, again with a respectful request, but an urgent request, that we have an opportunity to meet with him, that he take a personal interest in the matter, and that if he understands and agrees that in fact this is a misapplication of the traditional position of this very wonderful and benevolent country in which we live, which tempers justice with some degree of logic and compassion in this particular situation, to allow this man under these circumstances to spend the next few months with his family, with his home, where there's no real concern about flight, where there are urgent personal reasons why he needs to be with his family at this time. We would hope that the Attorney General would understand that, would relate to that, and that appropriate messages could be delivered to ensure that at least for the next few months, Mr. Rubashkin would be free to remain with his family. So that's the essence of it. And we can take questions at this point, and then I'll also ask any of my colleagues who want to add anything to